Hey guys, I hope everyone had a good Easter yesterday. I wanted to hop on and talk about Savannah Guthrie's video that she put out yesterday evening. In it, she attended the same online church service that her mom used to go to. If you guys remember, it was one of the other churchgoers that first alerted the family that Nancy was not, in attendance when she normally would be. So Savannah was a part of that same service, and it seems like all the congregation kind of made a video to contribute to the service, and Savannah's was I've always admired her, like, through this process, that her faith just seems so strong. But in this video, she started off by kind of talking about the fact that she does have doubts, she does question things, and that she thinks it's easy to do when you're going through a difficult time. I think everybody, all of us, at one point or another has been there, where no matter what your religious beliefs, you're just like, oh my gosh, like, why is this happening to me? Like, what did I do? And so it was kind of along those lines, and how she felt like God, had forsaken her at times during all of this. And then she said she started to wonder if God and Jesus knew human suffering, that Jesus was supposed to be in human form, but he obviously, like, he was resurrected. He was, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't, she kind of started to wonder about that. Like, do they know human suffering? That how painful it is. And especially she brought up, like, the not knowing things, in terms of, her mom. And she actually compared it to, she thought of the instance, which goes, about the Easter story, where Jesus was in a tomb for 3 days. And she kind of looks at that as proof that, he does know what they're going through, what we're going through, because in those 3 days, he was alone and had no idea if, he would be resurrected, if he just was human, and she kind of holds on to that in comparison, and it kind of re-strengthens her faith. And so she did get emotional a few times. She almost cried once, but she was remarkably composed. Like, I don't know that I could do that if I were in her place. And today was her first day back at the Today Show. I haven't watched any of it yet. I've been at work, but I will, if there's anything that interesting that happened, or anything that I think you guys would want to know, I'll post it or make another video about it. But hopefully she did well, and my hope is that maybe it'll help get her mind off of it, even if it's for a couple hours, kind of getting back into her normal work routine. Maybe it'll give her some small comfort. But yeah, it was sad. And she also talked towards the end of the video. She kind of wrapped it up by saying she's choosing to see the goodness in the day, even though it's her first Easter without her mom. She says that the good times are made even better because of bad times, that you appreciate more, and that she is choosing to do that, to look, to be thankful for what she has, and to look forward to, the warmer weather, and, just all of the hope and promise that spring brings and Easter brings. And I thought that was really insightful and, you know, something that we could all use, you know, in our lives. But that is the update with that. There's no real new, you know, in terms of the actual investigation, there's nothing that I've seen. I know, I know a few of you have written me about Nanos, I guess, and yet another one of his cherry-picked interviews. He's now denying, you know, the experience of his, you know, it came out that the supervisor of the homicide division in that office had never worked a homicide when he became a supervisor. And that was shocking to me. It was just bizarre. But he now came out with something saying that that was never true, that, you know, he did this and did that. And I'm not sure. I mean, I heard like Brian Enton had it on, people that really do their homework. So I don't know about you guys, but I would believe Brian over Nanos any day of the week. So I am going to look into it, though, because it's very interesting to me. I have gotten into the habit of, it's almost become like a game in terms of like, let's see if he's telling the truth this time. You know, how many lies has he told this time? So I am going to look into it and check what he said and check if it's true about, you know, this detective that became the supervisor. He gave, you know, a number of cases and specific cases that he claims that he worked on before becoming the supervisor. So I am going to fact check it. Even if it takes a little while, I'm going to dig up records and see what the deal is. He also talked about how it doesn't bother him that, you know, there is a vote of no confidence and that people are trying to get him out of the position. And his answer was that he doesn't let that bother him, that's happened to every sheriff that's ever worked there, which I find hard to believe. And if it is true, that's even more concerning for Pima County. Like, they should just shut the whole county down then, if that's the case. So I'm also going to look into that. And yeah, I have to get back to work. But I will talk to you guys later. Bye.